Picture this. You're sitting at the kitchen table on a weeknight and a letter from your super fund lands in the mail. Your fund is merging and it's all good news. More scale, lower costs, a stronger fund. Here's what most people never realise. A bigger fund doesn't automatically mean a cheaper fund, and the savings that letter implies often never actually show up in your account. If you read that letter and assumed your fees would just fall, that's completely normal. That's exactly how mergers are pitched to you, as a straight win. But the real story is quieter. Inactive and duplicate accounts alone cost the super system around $100 million a year, according to the Superannuation Consumers Centre in 2021. Today, I'll give you 3 simple moves: check, compare, and verify, so you know exactly what's happening to your own balance and fees. And the first number is going to reframe the whole thing. Let's land that number properly. Across the system, those leftover inactive accounts cost roughly $100 million a year, worked out at about $40 per account every year, from the Superannuation Consumers Centre and Productivity paper in 2021. But here's the part most people miss. That drag on your money doesn't just disappear because 2 funds join together. It can quietly follow you. So here's your plan. 3 moves you can do yourself. First, check MyGov for duplicate accounts. Second, compare your fees against the industry benchmark. Third, verify your merger actually delivered what it promised. Each one is completely free and takes you under 20 minutes. Let me walk you through why each matters before we do them. Here's the mechanism, in plain terms. When 2 super funds merge, the receiving fund usually adopts the lower fee basis of the 2, which sounds like a win for you. But Treasury's review back in 2019 found there are usually no discernible short-term reductions in fee rates for members overall. In other words, the promise in the headline and the number on your actual statement often don't match. So why doesn't all that scale flow through to you? Treasury found that post-merger expenses are often larger than the sum of the pre-merger expenses because of merger costs, normal expense growth, and higher service levels. To give you a yardstick, KPMG's 2025 Super Insights put the retail fund average admin fee at 0.36% versus 0.23% for industry funds on a $50,000 balance. A merger doesn't guarantee you land on the better side of that gap. And here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Now the second layer, and it's the one that hits your balance directly. Even with all the pressure pushing funds to merge and consolidate, any extra or inactive account you're holding keeps attracting its own admin fees. The productivity paper put that at about $40 per inactive account per year in 2021. Money that's being skimmed off the top instead of compounding away inside your balance. And here's the honest part. This is where I need to be upfront with you. If you leave an old account open when you don't need it, you keep paying a slice of that fund's admin costs year after year, instead of cutting it by consolidating, as the ATO points out. Now, consolidating isn't always the right move for everyone. If that old account holds insurance you'd lose, pause and check that first. But for most people, that roughly $100 million a year in system-wide waste includes a chunk that's yours to reclaim with a single transfer. Let me bust the myth that quietly costs people the most. The belief is simple. When my fund merges, my fees automatically drop. The reality, straight from Treasury's review, is that merged funds often adopt the lower fee basis, but usually produce no discernible short-term fee rate reduction for members. And here's why that matters for you. If you believe the myth, you stop checking and you quietly overpay for years. Let me put both costs side by side so you can see them clearly. On one side, around $40 a year for every inactive account you leave sitting open from the Superannuation Consumers Centre. On the other, a 0% short-term fee cut you can actually count on from a merger per Treasury. So it's a drag you don't see, plus a saving that never arrives, and both are quietly eating your retirement. Let me make this real with someone who could easily be you. Meet Emma. She's 39, a nurse earning $82,000 a year, with $96,000 sitting in an industry super fund and 26 years until she retires. Her fund just merged, and like most people, she assumed her fees would fall. Here's what she actually found when she sat down and looked. Emma's first discovery was a big fat 0. That's the short-term fee rate cut she could actually point to after her merger. It matches Treasury's review. Mergers often adopt the lower fee basis but produce no discernible short-term reduction for members. So the promise in her merger letter simply didn't match the numbers on her statement. Her second discovery came from somewhere she wasn't even looking. Emma still had an old account sitting open from an earlier job, and leaving it there was costing her around $40 a year, per the Superannuation Consumer Centre. That's money that could have stayed invested and compounding in her balance. Instead, it was being quietly eaten by duplicate admin. Her third discovery was the most useful of all, a number you can use too. KPMG found the average MySuper admin fee on a $50,000 balance was 0.26% overall, with retail funds at 0.36% and industry funds at 0.23%. That 0.3 percentage point gap is the benchmark Emma could finally measure her own fund against, and so can you. Now let's stack that gap up over Emma's whole career, because this is where small numbers get serious. Using KPMG's benchmarks, moving from a retail style 0.36% to an industry style 0.3% is that 0.13 percentage point difference on her balance. If your balance is smaller, say $40,000, the yearly gap looks modest. Around Emma's $96,000, it's more noticeable. And if you've got $200,000 or more, that same 0.13 points compounds into real money over 26 years, even before any merger transition costs are counted. This is a general illustration, not a prediction for your fund. So could this be you? Here are 3 honest signs. 1, you got a merger notice and just assumed your fees fell. 2, you genuinely don't know whether you have more than one super account. 3, you've never once compared your admin fee to the benchmark. If any of those sound like you, don't worry. The 3 moves coming up take under an hour total, and I'll walk you through every step. These 3 moves matter because honestly, nobody at your fund is going to make these calls for you. Checking, comparing, and verifying is the whole difference between trusting a marketing letter and actually knowing what your fees and accounts are doing. Let's walk through each one with the exact steps, starting with the fastest. Move 1, check for duplicate accounts. Sign into MyGov and open the ATO service, then go to Super, then Manage, then Transfer Super. That single screen shows you whether you're holding more than one eligible account, each one quietly paying its own slice of admin out of your future retirement. Here's exactly how you do it. Sign into MyGov and open the ATO online service. Go to Super, then Manage, then Transfer Super. Confirm whether you have more than one account, and if you do, request a whole balance transfer. What good looks like for you? One active account, not several quietly paying duplicate admin. Move 2, compare your fees against the benchmark. Open your latest annual statement and find the administration fee, the investment fee, and any balance-based charges. Then measure your total on a $50,000 balance against the 0.3% industry average and 0.36% retail average that KPMG reported from APRA data. Now you're comparing your fund to reality, not to a brochure. Here's exactly how. Open your latest annual super statement. Find the administration fee, investment fee, and any balance-based charges. Total the fee burden on a $50,000 balance and compare it to those benchmarks. What good looks like for you? Fees near or below the 0.23% industry average, rather than up around the 0.36% retail figure. Move 3. Verify the merger actually helped you. Read the merger notice or update from your receiving fund, then compare the pre- and post-merger fee schedules and any service changes. You're really checking one thing: whether the merged fund genuinely adopted the lower of the 2 prior fee bases or just said it would in the marketing. Here's exactly how. Read the merger notice or fund update from your receiving fund. Compare the pre- and post-merger fee schedules and service changes side by side. Confirm whether the merged fund actually adopted the lower of the 2 prior fee bases. What good looks like for you? A lower fee basis plus no old account left behind quietly charging you. Why is now the moment to do this? 3 dated events tell the story. In 2019, Treasury's fees review documented that merged funds adopt the lower fee basis, but that short-term cuts rarely show. Between 2020 and 2022, government reforms saw around 2 million inactive accounts transferred. And in 2024, KPMG benchmarked admin fees on a $50,000 balance at 0.26% overall, 0.36% retail, and 0.23% industry. That's your current yardstick, and it can shift with the next APRA cycle. Once you've acted, here's how you confirm it actually worked. When you log into MyGov, you should now see a single active super account. Check that your admin fee sits near the 0.23% industry average, rather than the higher retail figure. And if that old account is still showing up, don't assume it failed. Simply request the transfer again until it clears. Everything I've shared comes straight from the source: Treasury's fees review, the ATO's own consolidation guidance, the Superannuation Consumer Centre's multiple accounts paper, and KPMG's Super Insights. All 4 are linked in the description, so you can check every number yourself and see exactly where it came from. So here's where you stand now. You know mergers rarely cut your fees overnight, and you've got 3 concrete moves: check, compare, verify, to take control of your own super. The single best thing you can do today is spend 20 minutes in MyGov checking for duplicate accounts. Next, we're tackling how to spot a My Super fund that's quietly underperforming before it costs you years of growth. If this helped you see past the merger marketing and feel a bit more in control of your super, that's exactly what I'm here for. Do the MyGov check this week. Future, you will thank you for it. And if you want to keep making your retirement work for you instead of your fund, come back for the next one. I'm Alex, I'll see you there.